Welcome everyone to the Pro Trade Room Plus. We're here for the ECB Refi rate, GDP, unemployment, PCE price index. My name is Lee Goldstein.
Bank of England's Bailey says, I think energy price profile of scenario B
Trading
is more
Director,
plausible than
10-minute
scenario A.
trades. Please remember all the trades we discuss are for educational purposes. Okay,
Shortly expecting
here we go.
MasterCard earnings.
Let's get started. We've got an 8:15 event, the ECB Refi rate, and then we've got US GDP. Now, before we got here, after our last trade room, we did set up a trap trade for the euro. ECB refi rate. We do prefer the trap trade as they release their rate. All right.
Secured overnight
The
financing rate
trap trade,
3.63% April 29th versus
we right click our
3.64% April
chart.
28th. Bailey says it is an active hold today, not a passive one.
And we do have a reverse continue on the chart, a 30-tick target, a 30-tick stop, and a reverse continue labeled 6E reverse continue. All right. And we're trading that in account number 40. And then we have a trap trade, which is the daily trade report. It's our setup, our trap trade. You choose trap trade. Position 1 is a 1. Position 2 is a 1. And we have 8:14:55 is our trigger time because this is an 8:15 event. Our stop is 25 ticks. Tier 1 is 18. Tier 2 is 30. All right. We're going to trade it in a prop account number 40, and it's labeled Trap 6E. A trap trade is when we expect the market to move on the news. If it goes up, we sell. If it goes down, we buy. Okay? That's the way this setup works. If it goes up, we sell. If it goes down, we buy. All right? It's called a trap trade. That's how the trap trade works. Also, so that's set up. So let's get it set up. So our chart trader is on the account we're trading. We have our trap trade, which I'm turning on first. We want to be able to see the cancel outer tier button. That's very important on a trap trade. Why is it important? Because remember the setup. 2 orders. One is 18 ticks. One is 30 ticks. So if the market moves up 18 ticks, we sell contract 1. If it keeps going to 30 ticks up, we sell contract 2. But if it only fills one order and we want to move our stop into safety, then we want to have the ability to cancel that extra order that's sitting on the chart. So we have a cancel the outer tier, the extra order button. That's what that cancel button means. And that's why when we enable 2 setups on one chart, when one of those setups is the trap trade, you want to enable your trap trade first. So those buttons are the first ones that appear. Otherwise, you have to widen your chart so you see all your buttons. But we don't want to take up extra space with wider charts right now. Okay? Also, we do have coming
MasterCard
up.
earnings coming through. EPS $4.35.
MasterCard
That's a
just
miss on
released their
estimates of
earnings late, by the way.
$4.39.
Very
Adjusted
late.
EPS $4.60,
3
beating
minutes and
estimates
7 seconds late.
$4.39. Net revenue $8.4 billion, a beat on estimates of $8.25 billion.
On our
Cross-border
next
volume was
setup,
up 13%, miss on
we
estimates
have
of 13.3%.
GDP, the
Purchase volume
PCE price
$2.25
index,
trillion, beat
and
on estimates of
unemployment.
$2.2 trillion.
3 reports that normally don't trade together. We have seen GDP and the PCE price index trade together.
Iran's President
add
Pezeshkian tells
unemployment
Japanese
to
Prime
it,
Minister Takaichi that
and
Tehran
you
is
have
ready
a
to
fairly
resume the path of
complicated
diplomacy once the US
setup
changes its behavior.
for GDP. We have for GDP a gold trap trade or an MNQ breakout or NQ. Okay? It might be you want to trade MNQ with a stop of 100 to keep your risk down on this report. I'm going to set up the gold trap trade on an account that I lost some money this morning, see if we can make it back, or we could blow up the account, being very transparent and honest. It is a prop trade. A trap trade on this news, we believe, is a possibility of a profit opportunity with a 50 tick tier and a 90 tick tier and a 30 stop. I'm going to set it up now because we
Iran's
only have
Pezeshkian's
15 minutes
Prime
after the
Minister
ECB.
says that Gulf insecurity is
So
caused by
first thing I'm
US
going
and
to do is
Israel,
put a
and
reverse
American piracy
continue
against
on
Iranian
the
ships
chart.
must be stopped and condemned.
Gold. One position, a 30 target, a 30 stop. I'm going to label it GC reverse continue. All right. I'm going to try and
10 minutes ago now
make the
delivered
money
the
back that I
ECB
lost this
rates
morning on a
exchange rate
trap trade. A
deposit rate
good, profitable
forecasted no
trap trade
change prior
could give
to
us a nice profit.
0.15%, and also the
But
deposit rate
before
for
I
and
set
the
up the
excuse
trap
me
trade, I'm
ECB interest rate
finishing
is
my
forecast to
reverse
fall no change to
continue,
4.5%.
choosing account
And
number
deposit rate
41.
forecast 2%
It's
also
labeled
unchanged from the prior as well.
reverse continue.
We also
One
get the
position,
ECB rate
30
statement.
target, 30 stop. I'm going to apply it and OK it and turn on my reverse continue. Put my chart on account number
Bank of
41.
England's Governor Bailey
Then
says
I'm going to
market
set
players find
up
energy
my
prices are
trap
too
trade.
optimistic.
Right click strategies, double click trap trade. We're going to trigger and put our orders, trigger our entry at 8:29:55. It's an 8:30 event. Our stop is 30. Tier 1 is 50. Tier 2 is 90. We can get this kind of big movement in gold on this report. It may not fill. We might not get a big move at all.
Bank of England's Governor
These
Bailey
reports
says we're
have
not
gone
giving a
gone
message that
back and
rates are going up.
forth on the amount of movement. So we could be too conservative because we're using too big of orders. But one of the things we've learned over the years is rather than getting stopped out, we would prefer not to get filled. And we do feel there could be significant volatility. It's possible. And we will trade this on that account 41, apply it. One more time, our settings are position 1 is a 1, position 2 is a 1. That simply means each tier, each order, each bracket, same word means the same thing. Tier,
Ramsden from
order,
Bank of England
bracket,
says the labour market is now different,
one
or very
position
different
for
to
each.
2022.
And we have two orders, two brackets, two tiers. We'll trigger those orders. We'll put them on the chart at 8:29:55. We have a
Bailey
stop
says
of
scenario
30.
C does not deliver a recession.
Order number 1 is 50 ticks. Order number 2 is 90. Tier 1
Bailey
50,
says
tier
that we're
2
not giving a
90.
clandestine message that
Choose the
rates will
account you're
rise.
trading, label the trade, apply it, and OK it. We'll spread our charts a little bit because the orders will take up a little space. And we're not trading yet. We don't have to turn it on yet. This is for 8:30. So right now we're going to concentrate on the ECB, the euro. It's not expected that they're going to raise any of their rates or lower any of their rates. So we may not get much of a move on the euro. We don't know yet, okay? I do like to put on all my charts a magnet. I'm going to put a magnet on gold, high of day, low of day, one position, default target of -3, a stop of 40. Magnets allow us to watch signals, label it, GC magnet, All right, label it. It's very important. All setups on one chart get put on the same account. That doesn't mean you're trading them all at the same time. It means you're giving yourself opportunities to enter trades. If maybe your main trade doesn't trigger, maybe your main trade is a big winner and it ends with a profit, and you want to take advantage of a continuation move. Maybe you get stopped out and you want to enter after your first trade doesn't work. Okay? I'm also going to put a magnet on the euro. Why not? What do we got to lose? It's a great way to possibly trade after the news, although we're not going to spend a lot of time on the euro because we have all this US news, okay? But you can put a magnet on. Sometimes the trap won't fill, but maybe we'll get a magnet high of day, low of day. That looks like it makes sense. So we'll put a couple of contracts on with a 35 tick stop. We'll scroll down. We will label it 6E magnet, and we'll trade it in the same account that we have all of our 6E set up in, and that's number 40. Prop account trading this morning.
5 minutes ago now to go with the ECB deposit rate
When
forecast
you
of no
turn on a
change.
magnet trade,
Prior was 2%. ECB interest rate forecast of no change. Prior was 2.15%. We also get the
we
ECB
move
rate
our
stable as
clock
well.
out of the way. Your orders, your order entries are movable. If I wanted to enter right there, I could enter right there. I want to enter generally fairly close to the magnet as price gets pulled into the magnet. That's where I would want to enter. A magnet is an exit. However, we have a trap trade to manage on the euro. I'm going to turn off our magnet orders by changing the high of day, low of day on our control panel, which controls our magnet trade. Part of it, anyway. We'll turn the orders off for now because we just want to manage our trap trade first. Maybe after the news, the euro will pop back to the high. It's bullish today at the moment. Maybe it will pop back up to the high after the news. Maybe it won't move much, we don't know, but we have a couple of different opportunities should we want to take them. We have our trap trade in a few minutes, 8:15, when the news is released, the rate statement. We have a reverse continuation if we wanted to take a safe scalp. And we have a possible magnet if we turn it back on to high of day, low of day, and then we can slightly adjust our order to take a fill above 400. You can the beauty of the magnet is you have very nice discretionary control of your order entry, but it can still be an automated trade. By pressing the magnet entry button and turning it into automatic, the magnet trade can become completely automated. All right. Just watching gold before the gold news at 8:30 with GDP, PCE price, and unemployment. You can also trade that with micro gold if you want to reduce your risk. I would use a bigger stop. I'd use a stop of 40. Gold is quite the bullish today. It's up 86 bucks, probably going to retest this high. It might be before the news, too. But we are concentrating right now on our euro trade. 5 seconds before the statement comes out, before their interest rate statement comes out, our orders will go on the chart.
One minute ago now, we will lead with the ECB deposit rate.
One minute.
Bank of England's Bailey says there are paths through this where we don't have to increase rates and paths where we do.
All right, so we're just watching and waiting for the news to come out, and we'll see what kind of response there is. We'll adjust our charts so that we could
Bailey
see
says,
all
I
our
don't think the interest
orders.
rate curve is in the wrong place. Ten seconds to the data.
I think we're going to get a pop to the high of day. Here come our
Order submitted.
orders. There's our orders. The news is coming out right now. And we just might not get a
rate
fill.
remains
There's
unchanged at
absolutely
2% as
no
expected.
change
ECB
in the
interest rate,
rates.
no change, rate remains
No
unchanged
change in
at
the rates.
2.15% as
A
expected.
pretty minimal
ECB says
response to the
keep the
news.
3 rates
My
unchanged.
finger is on the trap
ECB
6E
decides
to
to keep the 3 rates
cancel.
unchanged and says while incoming information has been broadly consistent
If it
with
goes
ECB's
down
latest
and
assessments
continues
of inflation
down,
outlook,
I would let
upside
it
risks to
fill
inflation and
within a
downside risks to
minute.
growth
Otherwise, we don't
intensify.
trade.
ECB
We usually
remains well
give it a
positioned
minute.
to navigate current uncertainty.
We're still pretty far
ECB will
away
closely
from a
monitor and
fill.
follow a data-dependent
Our
data by means of
tiers
closed
were
standard
only,
open
remember, it
monetary
was
policy
only
stance,
18 ticks. This is not a
and
very
ECB is not pre-committed
meaningful
to a
move
particular rate path.
on the euro on the news. All right? We normally give it a
ECB
complete
says
minute.
APP PEP
If I
holdings
didn't have to go
declining
to
at
the
measured
US
and
trade,
predictable pace,
I
and
might
they
be
stand
more
ready to adjust
prone to
accordingly as
wait
instruments.
longer. Nothing in a minute. Nothing in a minute. I am going to cancel my euro trade. I gave it well more than a minute. It's going to fill, it looks like. But it's not even an 18 tick move yet. All right.
Further from the ECB as well,
So
they say the Governing Council will closely monitor the
it is going
situation
to fill.
and follow
It certainly looks like it's
data-dependent
going to
approach.
fill.
It's committed to keeping monetary policy and ensuring
Why
that
am I going to
inflation stabilizes
cancel?
at 2%
Because
Order
we have a
canceled.
GDP trade
Indications of
and
the
it's a
war
much
medium-term
bigger
inflation and economic
opportunity.
activity will depend
It's a
on the
much bigger
intensity
opportunity.
and
I'm going to
duration of the
change my
price shock
euro
and the scale of
trade
its
back
indirect
to
and second-round
gold.
effects.
So what
Longer-term
I'm going to
inflation
do is
expectations
turn
remain
everything
well
off
anchored,
for a
although inflation
second. All
expectations over
right.
the shorter horizons
Change my
have
euro
reduced
trade to
significantly.
gold, GC06, because I
Further,
like
the
trading on
ECB
that
saying
chart.
upside risks to inflation have intensified.
I like trading on that chart. I'm setting up
This wasn't
the
really much
news
reaction to the
off to
rate.
the
There was a slight
side
decline
because there's a
from
ton
the
of
euro
news
for the back of the rate
on
decision.
one time
Eurozone bond yields
frame.
dip after ECB holds rates, extending full. Germany's 2-year bond yield down by about 6 basis points at about
It's
2.65%.
a monstrous
ECB says the longer
amount
the
of
war
news.
lasts,
This
the
doesn't
bigger
even
the
cover
likely
all the
inflation
news.
impact.
This doesn't even show all of it. Setting up our trap trade. Setting the trap trade back up, but I'm going to do it on the left chart because I prefer trading that chart. All right.
Well, ECB says that they're not committing to a specific rate trajectory.
So first
The
things
ECB says
first.
choices will rely on evaluation of inflation forecasts and
Strategy.
related risks amid economic
We have a
variation and
6E
core
trap
inflation
trade. I'm going
trends
to
and
modify
monetary
it.
policy efficacy.
829.55. Position 1 is a 1. Position 2 is a 1. Our stop is 30 for the gold trap trade. Tier 1 is 50. Tier 2 is 90. We're going to label it trap GC.
ECB also said the economy has
and we're
shown
going to trade it
resilience
in account
over
number
recent
41.
quarters.
So our gold trap trade is set up. We're going to modify the reverse continue. All right. One
Stocks 600
position,
slightly extending gains after ECB keep rates
35
steady,
tick
plus of
target,
about 0.91%.
35 tick stop. That's a gold reverse continuation. Account 41. Label it GC reverse continue. GC
European bonds
reverse
extend gains.
continue and
Germany's
apply
2-year
it.
yield now
And then
down
we'll
by 9 basis
modify
points.
our
We've also
magnet
posted out the
for
ECB
gold.
rate statement on the feed for you to read through.
High of day, low of
Reminder, we
day
do get
for
their
the
press
moment.
conference at 8:45 a.m. Eastern
One
Time.
position. We'll leave the stop at 35. All right. Default target of -3. That is good. Everything else we leave alone. Label it GC magnet. I'm interested in the trap. Not concerned about the magnet for now. It's just a possible opportunity after the news. That's all it is. Apply it, okay it. So we have put our chart on 41, trying to make some money back on this account. So what
Bank
we're
of
going to
England's
do
Ramsden says that we have had very significant
is,
tightening in rates markets.
okay, we're going to get rid of our magnet on the right chart. All right, I'm just making sure I have my right setups. So our reverse continue for gold, our trap for gold. All right, now we know what our orders are. Here's our gold trap. That's the first trade we're going to enable. We want to make sure we see the cancel button.
So a reminder,
Then
at
I'm
the
going to
bottom of the hour, we
turn
get
on my
the
gold
slew of
magnet.
the PC data and GDP data
I'm going to
of
turn
the
off my
EU.
gold orders.
US PC price index year-on-year
High of
forecast
day, low of day off.
3.2%
I'm
prior to
not interested in the
3.8%,
magnet till
with a
after
range of
8:30.
3.8% to
All right.
3.1%.
And I'm going to
US
turn on
PC
my gold
prices
reverse
month-on-month
continue.
forecast 0.7% prior
So I'm
0.4%, with
waiting
a range of
on
1%
gold. That's
to
all I'm doing. I'm just
0.5%.
waiting on our gold
US core
trade. The
PC price
trap
index
is the
year-on-year
main
forecast
trade.
3.2% prior to 3%, with a
MNQ
range of
or
3.3% to
NQ is
3.9%.
the other
Core
setup.
PC
So
prices
we'll
month-to-month
put our
forecast
middle chart
0.3% prior to
MNQ
0.4%, with a range of 0.4 to
0626.
0.2%.
This is a lot of
US good
risk,
GDP,
this
US
trade.
GDP quote-unquote annualized
So you
forecast
could trade it
2.3%
with
prior to
MNQ if you
0.5%, with a
like.
range of 3.8% to
Markets are
0.5%.
really, really bullish right now.
So to Canada, Canadian GDP forecast 0.2% prior
MNQ
to
setup
0.1%, with a range of
would be a slight
0.3 to
modification of the
0.2%.
NQ setup, all right? First thing I put a reverse
US GDP
continue on
price
the
index
chart.
forecast
I just always
3.9%
do
prior to
that.
3.7%.
A target of
Personal income month-to-month,
75,
US forecast
and we'll do a
0.3%
stop of
prior to
$75.
-0.1%. US real personal consumption
We'll
month-to-month
label
forecast
it
0.3%
MNQ
prior
reverse
0.1%.
continue.
US employment cost forecast 0.8% prior 0.7%. US core
We'll
PC
apply
prices
it,
advance forecast
and we
4.1%
now
prior
have an
2.7%.
MNQ reverse
US
continue.
continued jobless claims
Okay?
forecast 1.815 million
Then
prior
we will put our
1.821 million.
breakout
PC prices advance prior
on the
2.9%.
chart.
US GDP
We
deflator
will
seasonally
trigger
adjusted
at
advance prior
829.59.
3.7%. And initial jobless claims forecast 212k prior 214k,
The
with a range
bracket
of
is 40.
228k to 205k.
Position
Also
1 is a
for range
1,
for continued
position
jobless
2 is a
claims, with a
1,
range of
target 1
1.841
is
million to
25, target 2
1.757
is
million.
60, target 1 stop move. If we hit our first target, we'll move to break even. I
Method
would
was
use a
to raise more than
100
$25
stop
billion
on
from its bond sale.
micro MNQ. Okay, bigger stop. Target 1 stop move BE. We're going to label this MNQ breakout. We're going to leave the chart on sim for a moment. We're going to put our time on 0 for a moment. All right. Put our time on 0 for a moment. And we are going to trigger the trade in sim to make sure we have a manageable bracket. So MNQ bracket.
Order submitted. Order
We
canceled.
need to put our chart on sim. I'm going to go back to the strategy for a moment, highlight the strategy, Go to optional and turn off
So
the vertical
Bank of
line.
England's Governor Bailey says we're starting
Apply
in a
it.
very
Okay.
different place compared to 2022.
Here comes our test of the bracket.
Order submitted.
And that's a manageable setup, okay? Not too wide,
Order
not too
canceled.
narrow. MNQ breakout. We're going to go back. We're going to put the time back on 8:29:59. I'm not even going to be watching the MNQ. It's not a super high risk trade, and I'm going to be managing my gold trade because that is a potential for significant profit or loss. Account number 40 on all our MNQ. All right, the breakout, apply it, okay it. Put chart trader on 40. And we have our breakout set up, and we need to hang on one second. I want to check my gold setup because something looks a little strange on my gold setup. Okay, I want rid of this.
Bank of England's
That's
Ramsey
fine.
says we will act as
MNQ
necessary to get
reverse
inflation to 2%.
continue. I may want to re-enter my gold trap
5 minutes
trade
ago now
because
to get the
something
PC
is
data,
wacky
GDP data as well, and the Canadian
on the
GDP
chart.
data
So
at the bottom
let's
of the hour. US PC price index year-on-year forecast 3.5% prior to 5%.
29.55.
PC price index month-on-month
Position
forecast
1 is a 1,
0.7%,
position
price
2 is a
0.4%.
1. Our
Initial
stop
jobless
is
claims
30.
forecast 212k
Tier
prior
1
to 214k.
on our
Canadian GDP
gold
month-on-month
trap
forecast 0.2%, price 0.1%. US GDP quote-unquote advanced
is
forecast
50.
2.3%, price 0.5%. Core
Tier
PC
2
price
is
index year-on-year
90.
forecast 3.2%, price 3%. Core PC
Label it
prices
trap
index month-on-month
GC.
forecast 0.3%, price 0.4%. And US consumer
Account
spending month-on-month
41.
forecast 0.9%,
Apply it.
prior 0.5%. Just a reminder for
8:29:55
the
is our
consumer
trigger.
spending
Our
month-on-month
stop is
with a range
30.
of 1.3%
Everything looks
to
good.
0.5%.
And there we have it. Okay, we should be good on our trap. We do have MNQ. We should be on 40 for the MNQ. Now I made one mistake. I can see it. My reverse continue says 41. I'm going to go back, highlight it. This is why we check everything, and put my software on 40, both on the same account. Otherwise, you won't see your orders. If you try to take a trade and your wrong software account is chosen, then what you have on your chart trader, you won't see the orders. Okay? That's what'll happen. You won't see the orders. Now look at all this news. This isn't even all of it. All of this. And we didn't even trade Canada GDP. There is a trade for Canada GDP. You can only do so much, right? You can only do so much, but we can watch Canada. It's a very small trade normally. 6C0626. We don't have to trade it. We can watch it. I can set the trade up, believe it or not, but I can't manage 3 trades, breakouts, reversals. You can't give it the proper attention. So we'll just watch Canada. All right. I've got the news off to the side. I'll keep an eye on the news. I'll try and let everybody know what the news is. So a trap trade, the idea is if the price goes up, we're going to sell. If the price goes down, we're going to buy. And we're going to make our money on the reversal when it changes direction. It's very possible our tiers are too big and we won't get a fill on gold. If that's the case, we won't have a trade. We'll take a chill. We're going to stay here because we have other events. All right. We will get ready. We will test our oil open like we've been doing for the past couple of weeks. We'll get ready for the market open. We'll do a little teaching. We'll stick around. I'll heat my coffee, take 3 minutes off. We'll do our usual routine. We have a very enjoyable morning trade room most mornings. We learn a lot, we trade a lot, and hopefully you make some money. So we have 1 more minute and 10 seconds, a minute and 5 seconds, and our orders should show up
1 minute to go
properly
now
on the
with the US
chart.
PC
All
price
right.
index year on year.
I could have set up Canada. I'm not going to rush now and set it up. Canada is a trap trade also, so we'll see if it moves. Canada GDP does not have a big history of movement. There will be an MNQ trade. The news will cause a move in the MNQ. Our orders are going to show up in 10 seconds
Good. Seems consumer
on
spending
the
is quite
gold
early.
chart.
0.5% lower than forecast, 0.9. Still waiting on the
Now,
rest of the
some
data.
news is early. U.S. consumer spending
Order
came out
submitted.
already.
Order submitted.
That's a little frustrating.
Order canceled.
Gold fills. If it reverses, I'm going to
US GDP coming in
cancel
at 2%,
that
2%
outer
lower than
tier. I'm
forecast,
going to
2.3%.
cancel this
Still waiting on
Order
the
order
canceled.
PCE
so I
data
could
though.
move my
They
stop to
said
safety. I'm going to try to trail.
US PC price index year on year 3.5%,
Order
3.3%
Okay, I
canceled.
made
expected.
about
US initial
$200 on
jobless
the
claims
gold trap trade.
189K,
Canceling
189K
Order
lower than forecast,
canceled.
MNQ.
212.
Canceling
They said US GDP
MNQ.
quote unquote
Made
advanced
200 on
2%,
the
2% lower than
gold
forecast,
trap.
2.3%.
All right.
Core PC
Gold
price index year on
trap
year
is
3.2%
canceled
as
now and
expected.
removed.
Core PC price index
All
month to
right.
month 0.3%
Now we're just
as
watching.
expected.
Now we're just watching.
Okay, despending
Turning
a
off my
direction, the
MNQ
consumer spending
breakout. It was not
data
a very good
was coming
response
early,
from the
now at
MNQ.
0.9%,
Not very
as
meaningful.
expected. GDP price index
But like I said, we
3.6%
made
lower than
180
forecast
on
of
gold.
3.9%.
We made 180
Household
on
income
gold.
month to month for the US
Is there going to
0.6%,
be a magnet
0.6%
to the
higher than
high
forecast of
side?
0.3%. US real
I
personal
think
consumption month to
gold
month
is a long here.
0.2%, 0.2%
I think
lower than
gold is a
forecast
long here. Do you want to
0.3%.
take a
Order
chance?
Consumer
Oh,
submitted.
employment costs
I swear that was
0.4%,
an accidental
0.9% higher than
tick.
forecast 0.8%.
I
Core PC
accidentally
prices advanced 4.3%,
clicked my
4.3%
order.
higher than forecast
My
of
stop
4.1%.
is going
Continued
to be
jobless
way
claims
below
1.785
this
million, 1.785 million,
candle. My stop
lower
is
than
below
forecast,
this candle.
lower than forecast of 1.815 million. PC
I
price
swear I
index
accidentally
advanced
clicked
4.5%.
instant long.
GDP
I was going
deflator
to wait
CPI
for the
adjusted
magnet.
advanced
So now I'm in a
3.6%
gold
soon.
trade and I'm
Prior revisions
negative.
coming through now.
It's a little
Personal
bit
income
scary.
prior revised to
It's a little
0%
bit scary.
from the original prior minus 0.1%.
All the news is being released late. It hasn't been coming in on time. It has not been coming in on time. A lot of the news
We'll
is
see now. Further
positive,
prior
and
revisions
I
for
want to
personal
exit
spending
this
prior
gold
revised
trade.
to
I think
0.6%
I'm going to
from the
wait a
original prior
little bit for the
0.5%.
price action.
Let's see, initial jobless
See
claims
if,
prior
you know
revised
what?
to
I'm married to
215K
this trade.
compared to
I
the
think
original
it's going to stop me out
214K.
because
Continued
the
jobless
news is
claims
too
prior revised to
Order
positive.
filled.
So
1.808
I
million
got
compared to
hit
the
on
original
that
prior
gold
of
trade that I swear
1.821
I
million.
accidentally hit the order by accident. I'm going to put my
So again, as I
orders
said, the
on.
data
If
that came out
gold
early,
decides to go
personal
back up,
spending month to
I'll
month
still take
came
that
in,
trade.
was corrected to 0.9% from what
The
the
only thing
original
you
prior
have to
band of
really not sweat
0.5%.
about is these are these are prop accounts. If my prop doesn't work, if I do damage to this trade, it's not the end of the world because I'm in a prop account. The worst that could happen is I have to wait for the account to reset, or I could pay $39 and reset it if I had a couple of bad trades. All the good trades are in our funded accounts right now. This is an eval account that has been struggling this week. Most of our better trades have been done in our funded
Treasuries hold
accounts.
gains after
And
PCE data
yesterday,
drops swings
every
in GDP.
trade in the
To
morning,
be honest, there
every
wasn't really
trade
much of a
was a
market
winner
action
in
for the
our
data
funded
anyway.
accounts. Now, I made an honest error. I swear I accidentally pressed the instant long. I wanted to go long. I mean, that's the truth. But what happened also is a lot of the news did not come out on time, and a lot of the news is positive. That pushed gold down. That's why the gold trade didn't work. Personal income, positive. Jobless claims, less than expected. That's positive. GDP, lower. Now, GDP is negative. That's lower than expected. Actually, PCE prices negative. So you have mixed news. Employment cost index, I think that's negative because that's higher. But jobless claims better than expected. PCE price as expected. So you have mixed news. You have mixed news. Jobless claims over 4 weeks better than expected. So you could see you have a total collection of mixed news. That you do want. We do want mixed news. We do want mixed news on a trap trade. On a trap trade. I just moved my stop too aggressively and got too close to the price. So it only made $180 on that trade. Now, gold is so bullish. That was another reason I was interested in long gold, but that scalp did not work. That scalp did not work. Canada, the trap trade, looking at the amount of movement in the candle, it's only 5 ticks. The whole candle itself is less than 10 ticks. The whole trade candle, 7 ticks. Canada GDP was a no fill. Okay, that was a no fill, a no trade. So Canada GDP would not have filled. Putting
It's also running
RTY
about 10 minutes
on
time
the
to get the
chart.
ECB press conference. We'll get the video out for you in the feed shortly.
RTY on the chart. Just watching right now. Just watching. MNQ, the trade candle did not really move enough. We canceled after plenty of time for a move. Eventually, there was a move down, but it was too late for us to have taken the trade. It
News
was
documents
usually we
featured
only
fair
wait
gains
about
slightly.
20 seconds for a news event to trigger the instrument we're trading, and it was more than a minute. Okay, so that was a normal expected cancel. That was not an unusual situation. I'm going to reboot my Ninja. I'm going to just turn everything off for a minute.
We have posted out the video on the feed
I'm going to
again for
reboot my
ECB President
Ninja
Lagarde's press conference.
and bring it right back. Give me a second. We still have quite a few events going on today. We're nowhere near done. Nowhere near done. Now, I'm going to put oil on my left chart. All right? Looking at the news, just as we continue on, there is an ECB press
US interest
conference.
rate futures slightly raised odds of rate hike
We
by
do
Fed
have
in
natural gas
2026 after
storage to
US
trade.
data
Chicago
contracted.
PMI is not one of our favorite trades to trade. It is at 945. I'll keep an eye on that. We have had setups on that before, but it just has not been a great event to trade. We don't have a trade report for it anymore. Our next really event that we have on the news, our next event on the news, and let's check with our weekly schedule also. I'll tell everybody what we're going to do here. So our next event is going to be the market open, but we're going to trade the oil open at 9 before that. Then we're going to stick around. We'll probably stick around until natural gas. All right? That's the plan. So we're going to be here for a while. We don't need our news chart yet at the moment from investing.com. I'm going to take 3 minutes. I'm going to put the oil chart on. Oil, again, very bullish. We're going to put the YM in the middle. Interesting. YM, very bullish. All right. RTY on the right. I'm going to turn everything off because we're going to restart everything when I get back. Start from scratch. Got to reconnect my accounts. Live data and prop data. Put my charts on sim for a minute till I decide where I'm going to trade, and we'll set up our next
We
trades.
have posted out the PC price index and GDP data on the feed.
And I'll
If
be
you watch
back
on the
in
feed,
3
feel free to read
minutes.
through.
I'm taking my mic with me. You will hear me heat my coffee. That's where I'm going. I'll be right back.
Money market slightly trim bets on June ECB rate hike and now pricing around 23 base points of hikes by June versus 25 before the ECB decision. About 4 minutes ago to get the ECB press conference. Remember, the video is on the feed, free to watch.
Okay. Can you all hear me? Give me a heads up. Give me a heads up that you can hear me. So the news was released very haphazardly this morning. That's very unusual that it all didn't get released at the same time. That was a little bit surprising. Little bit surprising. All right, I'll do one more attempt to bring money back into this damaged prop account on the oil open, which is not a vetted trade, not one of our recommended trades, but recent testing on the oil open. I'm going to redo our video also. It actually has been working reasonably over the past 10 days or so. Hang on one sec. I'm just going to start a new video from scratch. All right, so give me 10 more seconds to get my background set up here. We are streaming on YouTube, so I want to welcome everyone. And here comes the new video. Welcome everyone to the Pro Trader and Plus, the Oil Open, US Open, Natural Gas. My name is Lee
Surely
Goldstein, the
expecting
Trading
to hear
Director for
from the
10-Minute
ECB.
Trades. Please remember, all the trades we discuss for educational purposes. All right. So we're looking at oil on the left chart. We're looking at the YM in the middle chart. We're looking at the RTY on the right. RTY we're not dealing with until the open. Same thing
Ayatollah
pretty much
Khomeini
on
on
YM.
X
I
says
will put a
Iran will put an
magnet
end to
right now
hostile
on
enemies
the YM.
exploitation of the Strait of Hormuz.
Putting a magnet on the YM. High of day, low of day. Position 1 is a 1. Position 2 is a 1. Target 1 is -3, which is standard. 3 ticks above the magnet or 3 ticks below is our exit. Our stop is 40. And my second position is a 1, and I want to go 15 ticks above the magnet or below the magnet. And if I hit my first target, target 1 stop move is break even, BE, just like a regular trade. So my YM magnet is ready. I have to label it YM magnet, and we trade the YM magnet in a funded account. That's account number 67.
And the guard's video has now started. Money markets now expect 72
So
base
that's
points
on
of ECB rate hikes this
67.
year versus 76%.
YM
Versus
magnet,
76 base points on earlier today. So again, money markets now expect
high of
72
day,
base
low of
points
day. I'm not
of ECB hikes
entering
this
this
year versus
early.
76 base points
I
earlier
will
today.
think about it. We do have
Germany's Chancellor Merz says we have enough
a
oil and gas
very
supplies,
bullish
but we're doing
YM.
everything
It may
diplomatically to open
test
Strait of Hormuz.
the high again, but I'd much rather see it sell off a little bit. Putting a quick reverse continue on the chart also. One position, 35 target, and a 35 stop. 35 stop. Label it YM reverse continue. And same account, number 67. So our YM, we're waiting for the open, but sometimes we do trade earlier. It is very bullish. It is very bullish. Oil, putting a reverse continue on the chart. So click strategy, double click news trader, change the breakout to a reverse continue. One position, 25 target, 25 stop. Yesterday we tested the oil open with micro oil, MCL, and it worked fine. One position, 25 target, 25 stop. This probably will be my last trade in this prop account that I've really done some damage to. But let's be honest, folks. Sometimes you screw up a prop account. You have usually more than one account. One account sometimes is used for risk trading, for scalping, for trading that you might not do in a
The
funded
Lagarde
account.
repeats ECB policy
As you're
statement.
trying to get the eval passed, you might take more risk in that account. So you can't judge anything on one eval account. We have 3 funded accounts that we're working on. and we have a bunch of evals that we're working on. We tend to take much more risk in our evals, okay? So those are the accounts where what's the worst that happens with Bullinox? It's $19 to buy a new eval right now using coupon code PTF89. Should I destroy my prop account, this one account out of about 4 or 5 that I have, the worst case is I could let it sit until it renews. And you check your member area to see when the account renews, what day. That just costs the $19 because that's what the account cost. You could cancel the account and just buy a new prop account, use it immediately in a few minutes for $19. The worst you could do is reset an existing account for $39. But why do that? Just buy a new one. It's half the price. So if you screw up, if you make a mistake, if you press a button wrong, if you have a bad trade or 2 or 3, your life isn't over. It's not like trading cash and losing big money. This is a prop account. It's a whole different way of trading, and you want to modify your trading to match your prop account. You
France Parliamentary
still
Speaker Gallagher
want to
says Iran
take it
will,
as
to exercise
serious and
control of the Strait
serious
of
as
Hormuz,
possible
enable itself and
because
its
you want to
neighbors to
create
benefit
good
from sanctions
trading
possible
habits.
for a
But
future without Iran's
sometimes you'll
presence
have
and
bad
interference.
trades. But the ramifications are quite minor in a prop account. Life will not end. Now, if you trade recklessly and blow up a funded account, those are accounts you've spent time building up, maybe even taking payouts from. Those accounts you better treat super cash, like super cash. Every account ultimately should be traded like super cash, but there are times you will take more risk because of the nature in eval accounts. So this 41 account, which I'm going to trade the oil open on, if I lose this
East
trade,
Coast
I
Oil
won't be
Guard
able to
says the
use it
economy was
anymore
showing
today
momentum
because
before
it'll
current
reach its
turbulence.
limit. But like I said, I'm trying to recover it. You can't go cry in a corner if you have some bad trades. It's just, there's no point. Even when we
Lagarde
trade
says domestic
cash,
demand
we don't
remains
cry
the
in a
main driver of
corner.
growth. An
If you
outlook is
make a
highly
mistake,
uncertain.
you pick yourself up and you trade again. You trade the best of the best events. If you lose money and you have a phenomenal family money trade coming up, I would always still take that family money trade because those are high probability trades.
Lagarde says incoming information suggests that conflict is weighing on activity.
So oil, we're going to set up a breakout.
Lagarde is saying that businesses are less confident about the future.
Our oil breakout, first we have our reverse continual. It was one position, 25 target,
ECB Chairman
25
Lagarde says
stop,
supply chains are coming
and
under
the
pressure.
reverse continue, we're going to try one more time in account 41.
Also says
And we're going
elevated
to
energy
label it
costs are going to impact
CL
incomes.
reverse continue and apply it. Now we're going to turn on our breakout. I'm going to load my template,
Lagarde says high
my
energy
oil
costs
open
make firms and
template,
households
load,
reluctant to invest.
oil new open.
Also says labor demand has eased further.
I have oil new open, right click and
Lagarde
rename it
says
to today's
households
date,
are in stable financial condition.
429. Today's the 30th, 430. Load it, and let's look at our settings. So we have a 9 o'clock trade. We're set to 0 for a moment because we'll check our bracket on this event.
Lagarde says that favorable starting point provides some cushioning.
Oil is super bullish this morning. All right, and we'll double check that. Right now, our bracket's going to be 15. Our target is 8.
Lagarde
Target
says
2
this
is 20.
responses should be temporary,
Stop is
targeted, and short.
25. If it hits the first target, we'll go target
Seeing
1
German
stop
bond
move to break even.
extending
Target
gains,
1
2
stop
yield
move to
falling 10
break
basis
even.
points now, to about 2.64%.
With our time on zero and the charts on sim, the trade is labeled CL breakout open. We're going to click enable and see how our bracket
Order
lines up.
submitted.
Did
Order
fill you
That's a
canceled.
in
little
advance for a
tight.
strategic
All
autonomy.
right. I want a little bit wider bracket for trading.
Order submitted.
That's a manageable bracket for trading. It's a 15 bracket. 15 bracket.
Also, the guy
Should be
says, will you
good for
switch
the
the
open.
adopter legislation or
Order
digitally
All
canceled.
right. Should be good for the open. We might, because of all the volatility, you can use a 20 bracket if you want to. It gives you a little bit more flexibility to cancel the trade if there's not a significant move at the open. If there's a good move at the open, the 20 bracket should be plenty small. Look at the way oil's been moving this morning. It's moving pretty volatile. So we're going to go with the slightly bigger bracket on the open. Going to highlight that. It's going to be a 20. We can test it one more time. Target of 8 and 20 on our targets. Apply it. Okay it. Test that bracket again. I'm going to turn my reversal on. Account 41.
Order submitted.
There's my bracket.
Order canceled.
Looks good. Before I turn it on completely, I'm going to put the time back to 8:59:59. The oil open is 9
The
o'clock.
guard says indicators of underlying inflation have changed little in recent months.
Right now, I'm going to leave it on sim for a minute. No, I'm going to put it on my
The guard
chart.
says wage tracker points to
Account
slower labor
41.
force growth.
Apply it and okay it. Put my chart trader on 41. Not turning the trade on just yet. Let's do a
The guard
double
says survey
check.
indicates
Oil
indicate
on a
rise in other costs.
30-minute chart. You could see that overnight yesterday oil was tremendously bullish. The market opened last evening, popped to a new
The
high
guard
and
says most
sold
measures of
off.
long-term inflation expectations stand
Went
around 2%.
high overnight to new highs, and then around 2-ish, 2:30, oil dropped
The
like a
guard says
rock.
increase in energy prices will keep inflation well
And
above
it's
2% in
been
the near term.
bullish. It's been moving up since 8 o'clock this morning. But I would still say overall, oil is bullish, bearish, 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 right?
The guard also
Overall,
says that we'll closely
I'd
track
say oil
scale
is
and
bearish.
effect energy price spike, and risks to growth are tilted to
The
the
net
downside.
change display indicator shows, I like to put that for oil in points, not ticks, in points. Apply it and okay it. And you can see right now oil is down $1.71. It was much higher before. It was up over 2, at least. Up over 2. Arthur, I'm not saying it's bullish. I'm saying it's bearish. It's bullish since 8 o'clock, 8:30ish. It's moved up, but it's bearish, not bullish. Bearish. The oil is bearish. It's down over $1.60, but for the past half hour, it's been retracing somewhat. So at 9
The guard says
o'clock,
worsening global market
we're
sentiment could further
testing
dampen demand.
whether or not the oil open is worth trading. That's what we're looking at. We're willing to use a prop account to do testing on very risky reports that we don't necessarily say, hey, this is a report you should trade. This is an educational trade. This is a trade where we want to see if we can make it worthwhile. Not make it worthwhile, if oil is worthwhile to trade at the open. It's been better lately. We had a completely different oil open trade 3 months ago. And we had it for quite a few months and made quite a bit of money with it. And then the market changed quite a bit. And that trade really stopped working.
Lagarde says risks to inflation are tilted to the upside.
Yes, we had a profit yesterday. We tested micro MCL yesterday.
And Ayatollah Khomeini, speaking again, says that Iran's new management Strait of Hormuz and corresponding legal framework will secure confident progress for benefit of all nations of the region.
All right, just watching, listening for news. Oil opens in a minute. What we know about the oil open is you can get a move in any direction
Nickel
on the
Fed funds
open.
rate
Even if
unchanged
you're
at
up $5,
3.64% April
you could
29.
still get a very good retrace down on a bullish oil market. You can never, I wouldn't say the word never, but we don't try to outthink the market by trying to figure out which direction to trade. We let the market put us in to the trade. And almost all of our automatic trades work that way. Discretionary trades, obviously, you make the decision when to press a button to enter. Discretionary is a whole different ballgame.
Order submitted.
So there's our bracket. There's the oil
Order
open.
submitted.
It fills
Order
short,
filled.
hits the first target, expanding the target, leaving the stop where it is to see if we can trail, trailing, expanding the target, see if we can trail a little more or if it's going to pull back and take us out, trailing, trailing, expand the target some more, trail, trying not to get too close, trail, expand the target, trail.
Order filled.
All right, that was like a 490 trade, $490 on the oil open. Very nice open. We trailed until it pulled back and took us out. Okay. That was like a little bit under $500 profit. A little bit under $500. So we're working our way back on this account. Working our way back. Working my way back to you, babe. With a burning feeling inside me. Who did that song? Working my way back to you, babe. Four Seasons? Was that the Four Seasons? Maybe. Frankie Valli? All right. Oil opens short. It opens short. We're done. I'm done with oil. I'm done with oil for the morning. Turning off my breakout, turning off my reverse continue. I'm done with oil, and I'm going to put my MNQ chart on the chart. I'm also going to end the video and save it as an oil open video. Bear with me. All right, so now create one more new video for the room. We've got the US market open, and we'll hang around for
Lagarde said the
natural
ECB is
gas
ready
as
to
well.
adjust all instruments to deliver on goals. So just to repeat from the rates table.
Welcome everyone to the Pro Trade Room Plus, US Open Natural Gas. My name is Lee Goldstein, the Trading Director for 10-Minute Trades. Please remember, all the trades we discuss are for educational purposes. Okay. We're still watching the YM, and we have RTY. We don't need our oil setups. We're going to modify them. Not the break. Yeah, we'll modify them all for the MNQ, our normal MNQ 0626 contract open. All right, we trade the open on the MNQ, which is quite bullish right now. It's quite bullish. Now, we had an oil breakout. Here's the big question. Do we allow the YM to enter long well before the
Lagarde
open
says, I'm
this
not going to
morning?
say whether we're closer to any particular scenario.
I always prefer to let the YM trade closer to the open. That's my preference. That's my preference. First things
Lagarde
first,
says
let's
we're
put a
certainly
reverse
moving away from the
continue
base
on
level.
the RTY. A quick reverse continue, one position,
Again, as Lagarde saying, we're certainly moving away from the
35
baseline.
tick target, 35 tick stop. RTY
Lagarde says, to where
reverse
exactly?
continue.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure is the most relevant assessment.
Label it RTY. Reverse
Most
continue.
critical is what impact energy prices will
And we
have.
trade that in our funded number 66 account. Apply it, okay it, and we can put our chart trader on 66. Might as well set our RTY up for the morning. So we have our RTY reverse continue.
Lagarde says,
Let's set up our RTY range trade.
yet
That's our
insufficient
market
information.
open trade. Click News Trader. I'm going to load my template because I saved
We
it.
also debated at length the various options.
I'm looking for my RTY
And the decision
open
was unanimous.
template.
Lagarde says, debated at length.
It's a range trade, okay? We're going to go down to the range start time and 9:25:00. That's our range start time. 6 ticks above the range, 6 ticks below the
Lagarde
range.
says some governors
Show
may
the
argue
range
both sides
graphics
of
on
the trade
chart.
rules.
Go down and label it RTY range trade under label, and under account, put the account that you're trading on the RTY, and that's our 66 funded account. Go up to the top, and we're going to end the range at 9:30. Position 1 is a 1, position 2 is a 1, target 1 is 10, target 2 is 20. Our stop is 35.
Lagarde says hard data is broadly in line with
And our
projections.
target 1 stop move, if we hit our first target, we're going to go to break even, BE. Target 1 stop move. Apply it, okay it. And we don't have to turn the range trade on
Lagarde
this
says
early.
there is
You can,
such
because
uncertainty,
nothing's
we
going
need
to
to
happen
revisit all issues
until
before this meeting.
9:25. And we can also throw a magnet on the RTY to watch for signals if we want to. Magnet, high of day, low of day. One position. -3 on our target. That means
Lagarde says
if the
given position
magnet is the exit,
6
the
weeks
high
will
of
be the
day,
right
low of
time to
day
assess developments.
would be our exit. -3. 3 ticks above or below the target, the magnet. 35 on our stop. Now remember this morning I was saying you could decide if you want to watch VWAP signals or high of day signals both, or just one. If you want to watch no VWAP, you just uncheck VWAP signals under aftershock reversal. I like to watch all the signals. You can program the buttons on the control panel so that if you get a signal, the ARS Enter Now button will blink and let you trade by pressing the button. One position, 35 target, 35 stop. So we've programmed the ARS Enter Now button. That's how easy it is. You can also program a built-in reverse continue to the RTY magnet. And we can do it slightly differently. We could do one position for a 10-tick target, 35 tick stop. Target 1 is 10 ticks. Target 2 is 20 ticks. If it hits the first target, target one stop move moves the stop to BE, break even. So we've programmed our reverse continue as we label now the RTY magnet. And we put all our RTY setups in number 66. We're not trading them all at
White House
once.
AI memo hits issue
We're
drug
just giving
Anthropic
ourselves the
Pentagon Conspiracy.
opportunity to
So again, White
take
House AI memo
different
hits
types of
issues drag
setups
Anthropic Pentagon Conspiracy.
depending upon the
Memo calls on US
behavior
agencies
of
to
the
use multiple AI
RTY.
providers. It also calls
So
on
we can
AI
watch
firms
the
to respect
magnet.
military chain of command.
We don't
White
have to
House AI
leave the
memo is still in
orders
draft
on
form and
if we
subject to
don't
change.
think we're going to
Let's point to
trade the
people
magnet,
familiar
which I'm
describing the
not.
draft
I'm just
White House memo
watching
on AI.
signals on the RTY. So on the control panel
Lagarde says we
here,
don't apply this
I
term to
can turn
circumstances today.
off the
He also
signals,
says that Lagarde says
the
stagflation
orders,
is
not
not
the
a
signals.
concept
Turn
applied to
off the
current situation.
orders. RTY looks darn bullish though, doesn't it? It almost looks like you want to take the magnet. The markets are quite bullish. Yet, not all the news is positive.
Lagarde says interest rates are the best tool that we can use.
I prefer to trade at the open today. At the open today. We do have an MNQ to set up. We could do it from scratch or we could modify our oil orders. Okay. We can double check our RTYs, our RTY setups. We have a range trade. That's the one we trade at the open. We have a reverse continue if we want to trade after the open. And we have a magnet if we want to take any signals, usually reserved for after the open. And those are all on the same account and they're all ready to go. Our YM, we have a reverse continue on the YM, which we set up before. As a reminder, it was, the markets are now changing, a one position 35 tick target, 35 stop trade in account number 67, labeled YM reverse continue, and we also have a YM magnet set up. Now I can't adjust the magnet because it's turned on, so I have to disable it. I can do that inside the software and apply that disable. Now I can adjust my magnet or look at the settings.
Lagarde says reaction function has 3 anchors.
And we have a high of day, low of day setup. Position 1, standard default target of -3. That's pretty much right at the magnet, 3 ticks. We have a second target. If it goes 15 ticks through the magnet, it'll give us a second target, and we have a
Lagarde
40
says
tick
anchors are
stop.
2% target,
Target
symmetry,
one stop
and type of
move,
deviation from
break even
target.
if it hits the first target. And we'll go all the way down, make sure everything's labeled. YM magnet, we're on the right account, 67. We didn't make any changes, so the apply button doesn't show up. We just OK it. And if we turn on our YM magnet, we can decide where we want our order. Entry. We also have short orders down below. All right. Short orders down below. I don't anticipate we're getting short. However, anything is possible in war markets. It would be a big sell-off if it's a short trade. Hundreds of possible points, right? And then on the left chart, all the way to the left, we've got our NQ. MNQ, I should say. That's what we do at the open. And we have 3 setups that we set up for the MNQ normally. So we can modify our oil reverse continue. We can make that our MNQ reverse continue, okay? So we're just going to modify our existing oil orders. Easy enough. We right click, click on strategy, highlight the reverse continue. MNQ, we'll put a couple of contracts on it, 1 position, 75 target, 75 stop. We'll change our label to MNQ reverse continue. All right. And we'll trade that in account 68. Funded. Apply it. Then we'll modify our breakout trade, which is our market open trade. Our market open breakout on the MNQ, we can label it MNQ breakout open. All right. We can scroll up. At the moment, I want to put it on
Lagarde
sim
says that we will publish revised scenarios in June.
so we can look at the brackets, put the time on 0. When we change the time, it's going to be 9:29:59. It's a 9:30 event, 9:29:59. Our bracket is 35. We've got a first target of 30, a second target of 100, and a stop of 125. It's 50 cents a tick. And target 1 stop move is BE for break even. BE for break even. We're going to scroll down. It is labeled. It is on sim. We're going to apply it and OK it. We're going to put our chart trader on sim. And we're going to look and gauge our bracket when we turn on the MNQ breakout.
Order submitted.
There's our bracket. I like it a
Order
tiny bit
canceled.
wider, maybe. Could check it again.
Order
There's our
submitted.
bracket. See, if you leave the bracket on for a few seconds and don't do anything, you can gauge the current market volatility in relation to the size of your bracket.
Order
If you get
canceled.
filled instantly with the bracket you've chosen, your bracket might be too small for the volatility of that market. That's one way that you design trades, by testing brackets, by leaving them on and check them against the market volatility. If you don't get filled every second, you may have something going for a good size bracket. If you are testing bracket sizes and it fills you instantly all the time, your bracket's probably too small. Okay? So now we're going to go back.
President Lagarde says liquidity is abundant.
Go back to the breakout. Put the time to the correct time, which is 9:29:59. Like I said, our bracket was 35. Targets of 30 and 100. Stop is 125. And if we hit our first target, I'll move my stop to break even, BE. I label every trade. This is MNQ breakout open. We're on account 68. Under optional, I turn off the show vertical line on entry so we don't get that line when we put our trade on the charts. We apply it, we OK it, and we can turn on our breakout.
Lagarde says there will be no talks on fresh talks.
Our reverse continue. We can put our charts on 68, and we can put a magnet on the MNQ for signals after the open. Right click strategy, double click magnet, high of day, low of day, a couple of contracts, a stop of 100. All right. We will label it MNQ magnet, and I always shorten the name. You don't have to do that. And again, we're in account number 68 on all our MNQ setups. That's all we have to do. Default target of -3. Our stop is 100.
ECB
Couple of
Supreme Board says
contracts.
confident
And now
that
we're
banks
waiting
have
for
enough
the
capital
open.
and
We're going
liquidity.
to apply it. We're labeled MNQ magnet. Apply it. Okay it. And now we might want to turn on our trades. So as long as we see all our buttons, we can turn our magnet on now. All the buttons are seen. Our orders are there. We're very far right now from the highs and lows, so we can leave everything the way it is. Um, Good morning, David. What kind of tech issue, Arthur? What do you mean tech issues are back? What kind of tech issue? So we're watching all these markets waiting for the open now. That's all we're doing. We're relaxing, not changing anything. We set up our setups. There is Chicago PMI at 942. Subscribers get Chicago PMI information at 942. So we will try to be mindful of not taking a trade right before 942 through 945, okay? Because Chicago PMI could affect the market a little bit. It could. MQ, MNQ, YM, gold, ES. So the Flyers beat the Penguins in a really good series last night. Penguins absolutely outplayed them yesterday by a mile. By a mile. Now, the big decision is, do you take an early magnet on the YM if it decides to go up and test, or do you wait for the open? My gut feeling this morning is it's a tough one. It's a tough one. I'm leaning towards waiting for the open. I would rather the market not make me make the decision. I'd rather the price sell off a bit and then make a new high or a new low, whatever it's going to do. It almost might be that R1 is a better morning trade this morning. We can target R1 very easily. That's one of our targets. This is our targeting system. We can change the high. Right now we're targeting high of day, low of day. That's what we're targeting. You can change your targeting very easily. Change the high of day, low of day to manual entry price. Change the box below that to R1. Target pivot R1. Move your order to order entry above the R1 because we're trading down to the R1. The reason I'm not dying to take that trade is the bullishness of the YM. But on the open, you could easily get a nice pullback to the R1. We'd be entering at 37 and our trade target is 15. It's only 22 ticks. It's not bad. That's not terrible because we do have a second position, 15 ticks through the R1. I prefer this morning to trade the high of day, low of day. The YM's pretty bullish. I think it's possible we get a trade to the high side. If we don't, we might have time to adjust. So let's see what happens. I'm leaning more towards the high because currently the YM, and we can check too. Turn off our YMs for a minute, right? Our YM reversal, our YM magnet, and we could take a look at the YM on a 15-minute chart. And 2 in the morning, the YM started moving. All right, if we go back a little further to the market open, you could see that the YM started out highs and lows, and it sold off overnight until 2 in the morning. And then a little after 2, it started moving up. And it looks clearly like there was probably some news, war news of some sort. All right. So we'll put our YM trades back on, our magnet, and now we watch. In a few minutes, I'll put the YM on automatic.
On to Nikkei, now saying Japan intervened in the FX market.
We're just watching now. Our YM, our RTY range is starting to draw. Remember, we set up a 5-minute range on the RTY. That's our main market open trade. And the rest we're just watching and getting ready. We're ready. We got ready, so we're just watching, right? We got ready. We're just watching. My recording program, if I forget, I don't know if you can see the control panel. For some reason, it doesn't show the control panel, even if I bring it onto the screen. It has a feature where if I forget to press a certain button, you won't see the cursor when I'm explaining things. And that makes my explanations more difficult to understand. And I realized I didn't have the cursor on. I try to always remember to turn it on.
ECB's President Lagarde says energy effects would persist even if conflict ended tomorrow.
So the Flyers won. The Phillies fired their manager and kept their
We have also posted out the article for
general
the free
manager,
copy feed for you to read
Dave
through.
Dombrowski,
Saying
who
Japan
did
intervened in the
nothing
FX
to
market.
help the team in the offseason, has the most horrible contracts,
Lagarde
absolutely
says directionally,
should have
know
been
where we're
fired,
heading.
along with the manager and probably the whole coaching staff. And I hate to call for people's
Also,
firing,
Nikkei says Japan conducted yen
especially Rob
bond
Thompson. I wanted him not to be the manager. I thought he did some really bad managing, but he's a really good person. Really seems to be a good guy, and I feel bad that he got fired, especially that they kept the general manager, who may be one of the worst general managers I've ever seen with the current contracts, long-term contracts they have. People that aren't even on the team, they're paying $20 million for Nick Castellanos. They advertised that they wanted to trade him, and so of course they couldn't trade him and had to give him away. Just bad general managing over and over and over and over again, never ending bad managing, general managing. But I love baseball. I can't help loving baseball. Now the RTY range is pretty darn big. I'd like to see it push up at the open for a test of the high. That would be my preference. Otherwise, I might cancel the range this morning if it doesn't go up because it's big. I don't like to try and outthink
Russia's Deputy
anything, though.
Minister Novak says the oil market is going to stabilize in several months. One minute ago now to be the market on open imbalance data.
So we got 1 minute. So we'll have an MNQ breakout on the left. We will have possible magnet entry on the YM, possible RTY. So unfortunately, the RTY is testing the high now. It's testing the high now.
With regards to the Nikkei, they cited a government source.
It's probably
10 seconds
not
on
a
the market
good
on open
trade to
imbalance.
allow it to trade. It could burst up. If it doesn't burst up, I will probably
Order
cancel
submitted.
it.
Orders.
S&P 500
Order
buy
submit.
side
Order
99
filled.
Yeah,
million.
that was my fear, folks.
Nasdaq 100 buy
I'm
side 28
definitely
million.
worried
Dow 30 sell side
about
5
this
million. And
RTY.
maximum buy side
I don't
15
think it
million.
can continue up. I'd be shocked. Absolutely
Order
shocked.
filled. Order filled.
Unbelievable. It still burst to the high. I
Lagarde says we're not
assume
seeing
that
a
our
second round effect.
MNQ, which I wasn't watching, hit the first target and reversed for a small winner. We only had one contract on.
The Meta shares
And the
fall
YM, we
12.8%
didn't get it
after the
filled
company
because we're
raises
kind of in the
cautious
middle.
spending
The
outlook
R1
and flags regulatory
looked like
risks.
it could have been the trade. Amazing on the RTY. I just left it alone. I tried to expand the contract. I just couldn't get there fast enough. MNQ magnet, RTY range is done. All right, we traded that, so I'm erasing it. The MNQ breakout is done. I'm erasing that. That was a small profit. We only traded small on that. RTY. These markets,
Lagarde says
they
corporate
really
telephone survey
feel,
suggests no
as bullish
significant
as
wage
they are,
increases.
they feel like they want to sell off. We have an MNQ magnet that, it's down over 100 points already. It's a little scary to let the YM fill to the long side, but look what happened with the RTY. The YM, it was a perfect
Amazon
R1
shares rising
trade
4.1% to record
after
high.
the open. The R1
Seen
was
Ford
perfect,
shares falling
right?
6.1% after Q1 results.
So RTY, another winner, another nice winner. And the question with MNQ,
White House's
I
Hassett
feel
says
like
the
I've
Republicans got
missed
further
some
power gain.
trades
White
this
House
morning.
picks up. So
We
just
missed the
reminding
VWAP.
terrorists being on the wires
We
to
could have
at
tested
the
the
moment.
VWAP, right? Definitely could have tested the VWAP.
Alphabet jumping 7.4% of the open, adding about $300 billion in value.
Sander, you canceled the YM range because it was too big, I'm assuming. It was too big.
We'll get the video of Hassett on the feed shortly.
So right now I'm just watching. Remember, Chicago PMI is at 942. 942. Yeah. David, last night it looks like at around 220, 230, the markets got very bullish. I was not up watching them, so I'm not really sure, if there was
We have
news.
posted
There
a
might have
video of
been
Hassett
news.
speaking on Bloomberg TV on the feed for you to read through. Microsoft falling 3% at the open as results show lower AI traction.
So I feel like art on the
The Amazon
YM,
shares hit a record highs after the company reports
I missed our
quarterly
setup.
cloud sales growth
And that's
above
not
estimates.
unusual. I
Price of
do
cloud now
like
2%.
trading the high the most, but the R1, it was close enough to trade. I was concerned about a short. I was concerned about a short because the YM still is bullish. Look at the RTY just went wild before the open. It went wild before the open. It just went up and up and up. And I'm
Chart
not
says the
really
ECB won't
seeing
tame inflation.
any news above and beyond just normal commentary. Not seeing anything above and beyond the norm. So literally just watching, I think we may get ourselves a fill on the YM, on the magnet. It looks possible if it keeps going up.
10 minutes ago now to get the US Chicago PMI forecast 54.9, prior 52.8.
Okay, Sander, nice day. Up 400 in cash. Sander is one of our
Meta shares
cash
extending
traders.
decline to more than 10%, the most since
We
October.
do have a collection of cash traders. Sander trades cash. Patrick. Francis trades cash.
Hassett says it would be a policy error for the ECB and Fed to
I
hike
mean
rates.
Francis, not Patrick. Now, the question is, do I want to take a short on the MNQ for test of the low? Hassett is speaking. I can't even, he's a person I cannot listen to. Now, 942.
Quality
Remember, we have
reports say
Chicago
Russia
PMI.
increases reliance on China for critical war tech.
Chicago PMI at 942. I will turn off. I think I'll turn off my trade.
Hassett says productivity boom will keep core prices under control. Again, according to people familiar with the matter, Russia is importing more than 90% of its sanctioned tech through China, a sign of
Let
Moscow's
me
growing
bring up
reliance on Beijing
some
to
news
keep the
for
war against
Chicago
Ukraine driving
PMI. The
forward.
problem,
The
it's not
figure
a
is
problem.
up from about
We
80%
know
last year,
that
as the EU
Chicago
cracks down on
PMI
routes Russia
comes out
uses to acquire restricted goods.
before
Seeing Microsoft shares at
945.
2-week
It
lows
comes
after
out
Q3
as a
results, fast
private
down now
report.
about 3.2%.
Then the market knows the news. Then the market knows the news. We just know that. And we used to trade it at 942. We used to trade it at 945. But it has become quite inconsistent and difficult to trade. The catch is at 942, it can move the market, but there won't be news. The news won't come out until 9:45. Now, I'm going to turn off my RTY. I'm not scalping RTY. I'm going to put a gold chart on MGC because RTY, not RTY. the Chicago PMI can move gold, okay? It can move gold. So I'm just putting it on account 40. I don't know if I have time to
Sydney
set these
Mastercard shares
strategies
down
up.
3.1% after Q1 results.
MGC magnet. I'm going to try and put it in account 40. MGC magnet with a stop of 50. I don't need that reverse continue. I just want a stop of 50. So I have a gold magnet on account 40,
It says new
and I'll
housing
put a
construction
reverse
could lift growth by
continue
4% or 4.5%.
also in account 40.
It's again Hassett. It says new housing construction could lift growth by 4% or 5%.
And I'll call it gold reverse continue. My magnet's mislabeled. Let me see if I can. Yeah, I got enough time to label it properly. I labeled it RMGC magnet. It's GC. Here we go. All right, so they're in 40. Let's see if anything happens. Put the chart trader on 40. Turn on the trade. We have a GC magnet and a reverse continue. And it's MGC, so it's not going to blow up anything. Let's see what happens on Chicago PMI with gold and the MNQ. It gives us a real feel for what the trade's doing. I'm going to
That
let
concludes Lagarde's comments in the
the
press conference.
MNQ trade the low. I think I probably would. It's such a big move down, though. The concern is that the move's going to get exhausted before we get to the low. But that's like, and there is risk in doing it before 941. I don't think we're going to get a fill though before 941. So I think we're okay. We're not going to know until 945 what the news really is on Chicago PMI. However, if gold pops up and the NQ pops down, then you could assume Chicago PMI is bad news. It's not really responding.
Some
Right now,
comments
there's
from
not
Trump
much of
Ministry
a
of Social,
response.
just saying that Germany should spend more time
So
on
I
ending the
don't
war
think
with
we
Russia
know.
and
I don't
Ukraine,
think we know.
and also says they should fix his broken country.
I don't think we know.
So about 4 minutes ago, do we get the US Chicago PMI forecast?
So
54 spot December
normally what I would
and
do
52
now
Friday.
is, for safety, I don't really want to allow a funded trade to take place before 2 minutes before news. So I am watching the YM in particular. I'm not that concerned
Also,
about
Trump Ministry of
MNQ
Social says
because
Germany's
it's not a
transport managers
big
should spend
win
less
or a
time
big
interfering.
loss. It's MNQ. It's only got a couple of contracts on. But I'm more concerned. I don't want to lose money on my YM funded account. But it sure looks like it wants to burst up, doesn't it? It wants to test that high. It does want to test that high. There is extra risk in allowing it to test to test that high. There is risk in allowing it to test high before 9:45 now because that news is coming out in a few minutes. It may not get there anyway. Gold low volume, so-so. It's not super low. It's not super high right now on micro gold.
Amazon shares reverse course, now down 1%.
So we're just waiting for Chicago PMI to take place. And there's 1 minute to go. And then we will watch the charts for a minute or two, take a short break for natural gas. We'll keep going through natural gas.
One minute to go now to the Chicago PMI. That concludes Hassett's comments on Bloomberg TV.
Order submitted.
So there is risk in allowing that to trade. There was risk in allowing that to
10
trade
seconds.
before Chicago PMI.
$49.2, $49.2, lower than forecast.
It's a little bit worse than
51.9.
expected. So I'm going to combine my orders on the YM and just
Voice means
see if we can
disconnected.
get. I think the YM still wants to test the high, but the Chicago PMI might ruin the trade. It might ruin the trade. That is a shame. That would be a shame. It's the thing is this YM, it's so darn bullish. It's so darn bullish. If I can get my stop to safety, I'll put my stop to safety. If I get the opportunity, I'll put it to safety. We may not get the opportunity.
Order found.
Okay, I didn't have time to really do anything except let it make money. So that magnet made money. There was extra risk in allowing it to fill before the Chicago PMI. And I think the fact that Chicago PMI is a fairly meaningless report that didn't destroy the long trade, even though the Chicago PMI news was negative. Okay, it was negative. It was quite negative too. I think we got lucky. We got lucky. Let's recap our market opens. Made money on every trade. 150 on RTY, 225 on the YM Magnet, $10 on, $14 on the MNQ Open, all in our funded accounts. All in our funded accounts. So yes, we lost money in an eval account with some bad scalping and some bad luck, and we made half of it back, and we'll try to make the rest back on natural gas. Who's got a question? Who's got a question? To me, this is another great morning. Another great morning. Every trade is never going to be a winner. We all know that. You can't make money on every trade. It's not possible. And you got to be willing to keep trading. With the style that we trade, you've got to be willing to keep trading. If you stop because you've had a loss, you're not going to make your money back. Because what if there's a great event or a great opportunity to take a reversal? If you don't take the great opportunities, you lose on one bad trade. Now, look, I did take a risk with the oil open, and it was a big winner. But we've been experiencing good trading on the oil open, so I was certainly willing to trade it in the eval account that got damaged. I didn't have to trade it in a funded account. Obviously, it would have been awesome to trade in the funded account, but it's perfectly okay to do it the way we did it. You want to manage your risk and trade in the right accounts with the right amount of risk. This YM trade, and I'm done on the YM now. I don't scalp the YM generally during the day. The YM is a nice funded account. It's growing. It is growing. And I am done with the RTY. We put micro gold on the right. All right. We don't need the news anymore, but look at Chicago PMI. That's a terrible report. They were expecting 54.8 and they got 49.2. That's a bad, bad report. Okay. We've got one more news report, natural gas. And I will trade natural gas in the prop account that I've recovered half of what I lost this morning. We will try to get flat on our prop account. All right. So I'm going to take a 5-minute break, set up our charts for natural gas. I'm done with the MNQ. We're going to start from scratch and turn everything off except gold. We can leave our gold on at the moment. All right. Gold is on. Gold is on. Gold's very bullish still.
10 minutes
Just
ago to get the US leading
watching the
index
YM
change
for a
month to
minute.
month.
We're
Forecast
turning off our
-0.2%, higher
MNQ,
-0.1%.
natural gas, putting the chart on the left. I want to look at one thing on natural gas, new market analyzer, and I want to look at the volume on the current natural gas contract, and we're 25 days till rollover. So we're on a new contract. We're ready to go.
China's
If you look at
Vice
natural
Premier He
gas
Lifeng held a
5,
call
which
with
was
US
the
Trade
previous
Representative Grid,
contract,
according to
that has rolled
CCTV.
over, and it's a week ago. All right. So we're on the right contract for natural gas. I'm
He
done with
also held a
YM.
call with Besant as well. And he said that he held candid and in-depth discussions.
And we can put a natural gas magnet on while you guys are watching as I go heat my coffee for the final time. We'll put a magnet on for natural gas with a 35 tick stop, one position. We'll look for possible signals later. We're going to trade it in that damaged account that's now not nearly as damaged as it was. Natural gas magnet. But right now we're
China's He
just
Lifeng
watching
said
anyway.
that China raised
We're not
concerns with
trading,
recent restrictive measures from the US.
just watching. All right. It didn't make a new high yet. So right now you can watch natural gas for a minute. Watch gold. I'll also put natural gas on in the middle because I'll use two charts for the trade. I'll explain that in a minute.
Also from He Lifeng, being cited by CCTV, says both agreed to manage differences and
Now we know
enhance
natural gas
cooperation.
was going to make this new high. If I wanted to trade it, I could press the button now, but I know I'm not even on the right chart trader. I'm not trading it right now. All right. I was not prepared to trade natural gas right now. It's only 4 ticks away from the high. It's not enough profit anyway. It's not the right trade at the right time. Just because you got a signal, you have to analyze what you're doing. Don't just all of a sudden press the button because you got a purple signal. Be smart. Analyze, right? Don't be silly.
Also,
I'm going to
CCTV
start
citing
a
China's
new
Vice
room
Premier He
for
Lifeng
natural
that China
gas.
and the US agreed to continue trade consultation mechanism.
So we have the US Open and we had Chicago PMI in that previous video. And we will get ready natural gas. So I'll start a new video the minute I get back. I'll be right back. Gonna heat the coffee, and then we'll finish up the morning with natural gas. So don't go anywhere. I'm taking my mic with me. Again, you'll hear me make noise. Okay, let's start a new video. Notice natural gas made the new high, but it was only 4 ticks away. That's why we didn't take the trade. All right. There is a short signal. That might not be a bad signal. It might not be a bad signal. There was a phenomenal VWAP long signal. Look at that at 9:15. That was a beauty. We have not traded our gold open. We have a gold open trade that we have not traded this week. Have not tested it for everybody. So we will vet that trade. I got to remind myself, we will vet that trade for next week. We'll add another week to my gold open 9:30 trade because maybe it's better to trade than the MNQ, even though the MNQ is back to winning almost every day. The MNQ, it's not enough profit unless you add more contracts. So we just were a little bit worried about the MNQ this week. So we were trading at a little bit lower risk because it had been underperforming for a couple of weeks. It seems to be normal again, and it's normal is okay. It's okay. It's an okay open. I think maybe we can find better than the MNQ. It might be that the YM range trade is better. Is anyone besides Sander trading the YM range trade on the open? Gold at the New York market open. Your 930 trade. It's the one that we started testing at 930. And we've had good initial testing with it, but we've only got a week tested so far. But I'm optimistic about it. I'm up to, yeah, okay. You're finding it. What size bracket are you using? It could be very bracket oriented. That's what we're seeing. But you know, the word inconsistent and gold sometimes goes together very well. Yeah, that's what
1 minute ago
that's
as we
what
get
we
the USD
found
to
to be the
index
best
change month
size
on month.
bracket, definitely so far. I like testing gold, so if we have time, we'll keep testing it. We'll keep testing it. Always looking for trades. That's the thing. We're always looking for new trades. I know you probably think we stole your setup, but we did try a 20 bracket, 25 and 35, and clearly 35 worked better. All right, let me get our natural gas room
10
going.
seconds. Minus 0.6%, minus 0.6%, lower than forecast, minus 0.2%.
Welcome everyone to the Pro Trade Room Plus Natural Gas Storage. My name is Lee Goldstein, the Trading Director for 10-Minute Trades. Please remember all the trades we discuss for educational purposes. Hey, is it just me, or does it seem like Prince Charles wasn't even here? Was he disrespected or not? Does anybody agree with me that the king was disrespected? Or am I completely wrong? I could be wrong. I didn't really feel like it's been in the news at all. Calvin, you think I'm wrong? He was given proper amount of respect. I feel like that they didn't pay any attention to him. So now you see, now the signal is better for natural gas because it made 6 new highs. 6 new highs. If you took this signal, first of all, you shouldn't have taken this signal. This would be an insane signal to take. Couple of things. If you look at your squeeze momentum, it's uneven, inconsistent. This this signal, look at the consistency on your squeeze momentum. Perfect. Inconsistent here. Also, very smart to wait for the signal candle to finish drawing and then take your trade on the next candle. If you wait, you would have been saved because the candle was up and it hadn't even tested the high yet. That would have been a crazy signal to take. It would have been a crazy signal to take. I'm trying to figure out why it gave us that signal. I have to talk to the programmer about that signal. I think it's a mistake. And I'm getting together with the programmer in a couple of days to work on signals, strictly for signals. Always, always, always looking to make improvements to signals. I'm looking to make a big signal update like right now, within a week. That's going to be the final big magnet update. We'll have a big party, we'll have a big webinar. And that requires a bunch of time spent with the programmer going over signals. Yes, a big gala dinner in the White House ballroom. In the White House ballroom, we'll be having that dinner if it ever gets finished. It will never get finished. All right, we are going to say goodbye to YouTube. Thank you, my friends on YouTube. You've been with us all morning since 8 o'clock. Thanks all of you for watching, but we are going to end our YouTube stream. Quick recap. Quick recap. I would let gold fill me on a high there, by the way. Quick recap. Every market open trade was a winner. YM over 200. RTY buck and a half. MNQ small. Oil open. We don't recommend everybody take that trade, but we've been having some nice luck with it. It was a great winner. Great winner. It was a winner yesterday. It was a winner Monday. So we may
Swiss
go
franc
back to
rises 1
trading
cent
the
session
oil
high
open
against
for
the
a
US
little
dollar.
while. Understanding it's a risky trade. It's a risky trade. Extra risk. All right. So we actually had a very good morning. We had one. What was our loser? The loser was Caterpillar, and that's because we had bad prop data. Half our members made nice money on Caterpillar, and half of us had a big stop because of data failure. And that sometimes happens in prop trading.
According
It's
to
the
AP
one
News, Trump
thing
floats a
that
new
no
plan
one
to
is willing
reopen
to
Strait of
talk
Hormuz.
about with
So under
prop
the plan, the
trading.
US would continuous
We see
blockade
data
of Iranian
failure
ports
more
while
often than we
coordinating
would
with
like
allies to
to.
impose higher costs
It
on Iran's attempts
happens.
to subvert the free flow of energy, according
We
to
are
state
people
administration
do
officials.
experiment with other companies that support trade evade. The big issue is it rhythmic? Is it really the rhythmic problem? Is trade evade better? We see problems with trade evade also, but it does seem to be less. But I've only had one Lucid account using trade evade. I have not had enough trade evade time for me to tell you what I think. Um, Members are weighing in. But there are problems with data in prop trading at times, and it's just
So also reminder,
part
just
of the
about
risk
42
that you
minutes before that
take
headline from
if
AP
you're a
News,
prop trader.
we
And
had
I
the
believe it
AP
should be
News reporting
talked
that
about
Trump
more
floats a new
honestly
plan
and
aimed at creating a
openly
maritime alliance to
because
reopen
it's
the Strait of
not
Hormuz
the end of
as Iran
life.
war shows no end
Okay?
in sight.
It's far from the end of life. And in fact, the big lesson we learned today is Peter Gabriel's lesson. Don't give up. Don't give up.
We have posted the piece on the feed for you to read through as
Don't
well.
give up. Right? You have a bad trade, don't quit. Don't give up.
NSA is
Trade
testing
good
Anthropic's Mythos to
events that
find flaws in
continue
Microsoft tech.
appearing
US
on the
hacking
schedule.
agencies using Mythos to
Don't
look
give
for
up
cyber
just
weakness.
because you have a bad trade
Spy
or
agency is
two.
comparing Mythos to its own
Don't give up.
cyber
Especially a
capabilities.
day like today. Are you
NSA is
not
using
going to
Mythos
trade
as White House
Apple?
weighs broader access.
Apple, which is a family money earnings trade. I'm trading Apple no matter what. If I've lost more money than I could ever dream of, I'm still going to trade Apple because it's a great opportunity for profit. I'm going to trade it. Everybody on YouTube, thank you. Hit the like button for our honesty and transparency, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Since
By the
keep an
way,
eye
on
on
YouTube,
Microsoft
let me
shares continuing
post
its
the
decline here,
link
down by
to our
nearly
class
5.5,
tomorrow. We have a
5.25%.
fantastic class. I'll post the link. Everybody is welcome. We've had a 3-day trading open house. No, I'm not a real estate broker, but we've had a big, beautiful 3-day open house, the biggest and most beautiful open house you ever could see, bigger and more beautiful than anyone ever saw, that's ever happened before. And everybody is invited to the class because we're going to explain everything we did. That's the whole point. So thanks on YouTube, and we'll see you tomorrow at noon at the class.